Let your faith be bigger than your fear. Hi, this is Kazi Mike, and welcome to another episode of Vitamin Wednesday. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and I just wanted to say a couple words, towards all these women that either experience it or have someone that has experienced breast cancer in your family or friends. I have, not directly, but my wife's family, direct family, they have, and I just want to shout out to them and wish them all the best. They have fought through a lot and they've been through a lot, and I wish them, all the courage, the best of health, throughout their lives, and managing and doing what they did. In my 20 years, 15 years being a nutritionist, and coming across a lot of people, helping them with some supplements and diets, of course. And I did help a lot of those women that either went through chemo or came after or were going to do chemo or were diagnosed with breast cancer. So, not that I specialize in post-care, but I have done a lot of consultations with a lot of these women. And in my nutritional class, I studied under Dr. Michael Murray, where he wrote most of my syllabus and my curriculum books, where he talked about cancer, and he's written a very known Amazon bestseller book. That's why I wanted to just do this quick video on the resources that are available, online. I'm sure you may be aware, but just on the side of the alternative, integrative protocols that are out there that you can do in conjunction with the conventional medicine or the conventional protocols of the medicine that you'll be taking, like chemo or radiation. And these are guided again, with doctors and MDs that are managing these. One of the main websites that I like to send all my clients to is cancertutor.com. I'm going to post these links below my video, Cancer Tutor, and those are one of the, they have offices basically in most of the states, and they're a group of MDs that are doing these other modalities or other therapies that are involved in cancer, which have been discovered or talked about or written since the late 1920s, and by different doctors, by different scientists. And some of them would be B17, chelation therapy, detox therapy. There is also the cannabis, of course. A lot of popular ones is the butt wig protocol. So there are a lot of these alternative, integrative therapies that are out there, and these doctors who are familiar with chemo and radiation, but like to incorporate other natural or other different therapies or immunotherapy as such into their protocols also. So it's good to understand and learn something from them. So I usually guide them toward those kind of offices or those kind of organizations where they're helping these women not only with just the therapies, also they have meditation, they have psychologists on staff, so helping them more on the psychological level also. Because I think, again, mind, body, spirit is a combination of perfect health. So when someone is really going through one of these tough conditions or issues in their life, and balancing the mind and the emotions is also very important. So your body can kind of get you through. Because I think with all my talks, we have seen with all my videos, my greatest belief is having faith in myself, having faith in my own body, where it is there to heal itself if I just give it some time, give it some patience, give it enough nutrients and enough, I would say, therapies and stuff, or enough activities in my daily life, so it can balance itself, so it can fight certain things. Trying, my suggestion always to these clients are, of course, is always why not understand these other modalities? Why not take a look where you can incorporate and balance them with the other the doctors are suggesting? Of course, you want to follow what the doctors say, or you want to get your suggestions from the doctor, the diagnosis and the prognosis, of course. But it's always good to do your due diligence. It's always good to understand exactly what you're going through and what they're recommending and what else is out there. And you'll read a lot of different things, of course, on the internet, but the internet also can lead you away with different questions more than just answers. So finding out yourself, cancertutor.com is one of the main ones I like to recommend. There is another one I think which is really helpful, is icanbeatcancer.com, which is also some of these modalities where the doctors weigh out the differences, which one is better, which one can go in chemo, which one you should do first. So very important to know those things, and these are some of the resources also again. Now the books that I have read in my past, of course, is one of these which I like to go back to as my manual or my reference, is Outsmart Your Cancer from Tanya Pierce. And one of my favorite ones, which is on the best-selling list on Amazon, is by Dr. Murray, How to Prevent and Treat Cancer by Dr. Michael Murray. And there are a lot of other ones. There's another one, third one that I have read in the past, Victory Over Cancer by Dr. Matthias Rath. And he's a German scientist who did all his research on cancer therapies and how cancer comes by. Now there are a lot of different suggestions out there, but I know sometimes it can get confusing and overwhelming, but it's good to understand all these different options that are available, because nowadays we have these options. They were there before, but we didn't know where to find them and how to find them. Here online and all the suggestions online, you can research a lot of different things, and basically forums where you can talk to different people, different women who have gone through certain things in their life, the diets they have done afterwards. And this is where I have studied or have experienced a lot, is understanding the diet after chemo, after radiation, managing some of those symptoms, the aftercare or the after therapies, really. And I'll be doing some interviews with some of these clients where they can give their testimonials on what they did and what protocols they followed after their therapies and stuff, and how did they manage. So just wanted to say, wishing all the women out there with or without cancer, of course, and wishing everyone safe, healthy, and just believing in yourself that everything does not last forever. Where whatever you are going through now, you'll overcome. But just having faith in yourself, having faith in your doctors, having faith in your medicine, having faith in your supplements that you're doing, or having faith in your family, where the strongest of faith can get you through a lot of things. So I hope this was helpful, and I'm going to post some of those links and those books underneath here. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. This is Cosmic Mike. Have a happy Wednesday. Have a rest of the week. Have a safe rest of the week. Good night. Thank you.